Welcome back, Sports Nation and my champions. We're going to be shifting our fantasy focus today on the Las Vegas Raiders, so let's get right to it. So we're going to start on the offensive side of the ball, so let's talk about Derek Carr. He finished the season as quarterback 13. He's currently being drafted at about the 14th round as QB 27. I think that's pretty good value for him. Now, you could make an argument that the offensive line has been shuffled around. They had to draft a rookie at right tackle. Richie Incognito's not getting any younger. True, but last year's offensive line did not perform that well as it was. So I'm not expecting a big drop off in the line if at all. I'm probably gonna think it's gonna be play out about the same. I think Carr is a fringe QB1, good solid QB2 backup. Could, depending on the matchup, could be a good play week to week as well. So I think there's some value here at QB 27. Next we're going to talk about is Josh Jacobs, the starting running back. Finished his running back 8 last year, and he's being drafted right in the middle of the 3rd round, 18th running back to come off the board. I think this is extremely good value. Now you could say, yes, Kenyon Drake has been signed there. Personally, I think Josh Jacobs works better with a decent workload, but not an overwhelming workload. I don't think you'll ever get the workload as a Derrick Henry or anybody like that. And frankly, I think he kind of wears down over the season with that. So I think Kenyon Drake, even in a committee situation, will be good for him. I would say he's probably a fringe RB1, high-end RB2. So there's some good value here. And I think if you wanted to draft him here, especially at that point in the middle of the 3rd round, it's probably pretty good, especially with the running backs coming off the board quickly. We're going to talk about wide receivers. So we're going to talk about Henry Ruggs here. Finished really as a wide receiver 94, being drafted as wide receiver 48, so that's a wide receiver 4, and kind of questioning it. And I'll say why. I think he has good talent. He was injured a lot. Didn't have a whole lot of the speed in his legs last year. That said, Derek Carr, the #1 receiving threat is obviously Darren Waller. And then he likes to spread it around a lot. So I'm not so sure about Henry Ruggs. He's got the talent. Not so sure about that placement. We'll talk about the sleepers later on as well. As far as tight end, obviously Darren Waller, stud, one of the elites, finished the season as tight end 2 right behind Travis Kelce and being drafted accordingly, and he's being drafted 26 overall. That's early 3rd round, 2nd tight end off the board. And I'm saying that's pretty good value, relatively speaking, because Kelce's being drafted in the late 1st round on average, so you can get similar production in the early 3rd round. You can do that. If you're wondering about George Kittle, he's being drafted average 29th, so that's right in Waller's neighborhood. So, but if you want to bypass looking at the elite and try to go after somebody who could perform as well, I put a video out on that. I'll put a link in the description below. A couple of options, one in PPR side, one in standard scoring, that are going anywhere from the late 4th to the early 6th round that I think could very well crack into this elite level here. So one other thing I want to talk about is some sleepers on the team, and there's 3 I want you to take a look at. That's Bryan Edwards, wide receiver. We'll talk about him first. And like I said with Ruggs, I think there's a lot to go around. Edwards came out the same year as Ruggs. He was drafted in the 3rd round of the same draft. He hasn't really gotten enough playing time. I mean, this could be do or die for him. If you want to stash him late in your draft, it might be a good idea, because I'm thinking this guy has the potential to be the wide receiver 1 on this team for sure. And then we got Foster Moreau, the backup tight end. Didn't get a whole lot of playing time with Witten here last year. Very talented. I've been saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it. I think the guy's going to end up with 40 receptions, 400 yards, and 4 touchdowns, which would be good, solid tight end 2 fringe 1 numbers if you want to go there. Plus, if Waller gets hurt, I mean, I think you could plug him in. I'm not going to say he's as talented as Waller, athletically speaking, but he's no slouch either. And then, of course, the last one is Kenyon Drake, the backup to Josh Jacobs. kind of being drafted as a low-end wide receiver 2, high-end low-end running back 2, high running back 3. I think that's good value for him, and especially if you already have Jacobs, to be a great handcuff for you. Let's take a look at the defensive side of the ball. Now, the Raiders were pretty bad, obviously. The 30th ranked defense gave up a lot of points and yardage. They're currently being drafted in about the 14th round. That's 25th best defense. Now, I know they did some improvements, obviously, on defense. Yannick Ngakoue was the big free agent they signed there to improve the pass rush. They also drafted Malcolm Kuntz from Buffalo in the 3rd round. Max Crosby should be healthy. If you did not know, he played with a torn labrum in his shoulder. Still got 7 sacks. Pass rush should be improved. And the biggest addition to me is Gus Bradley, getting rid of Paul Guenther and his complicated defense. Gus Bradley has been making the changes he needs to get the kind of guys he needs in to fit his system as well, including Yannick, a guy he drafted back in Jacksonville. But I did a video on this, and basically to see improvement from Gus, it usually a nice step improvement. It usually takes by year 2 or 3. So the first season is going to have a slight improvement. So I'm going to say stay away from this defense from a fantasy perspective. I would say at best they're probably going to be in the low 20s, and you obviously want to be targeting a top 12 defense here. So stay away from the defense and focus on the Raider offensive weapons. If you did enjoy this video, why not give it a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Put your comments in the section below. I read every single comment, and I respond to just about every single comment as well. If you want to catch up to our 31 and 31 video series, click on these links right here. Thanks for watching and supporting this channel, and as always, play like a champion.